Hey guys, it's Jack Punkington here, and I'm here today to do my first gear review. I said I would do this a couple days ago, and I thought I've got time, I'll finally do it. Well, today, you can see it in the shop, I'm reviewing the Orange Micro Terror, and I'm going to tell you what. For $150, this amp is loud, and it's literally, it fits in just the palm of your hands. It's so tiny. It's a 20 watt amp with it's solid state with a valve preamp. So when you turn it on, it won't turn on automatically. It has to warm up because it's got that tube in there to give it that feeling. I'm running it through that speaker, and there's a small story behind the speaker I'll tell you in a minute. Running through a Boss ME70 effects pedal, but I've got no effects on. I will show you guys how it sounds with effects, but first I want to show how it runs pretty much just dry into the guitar, which is just a Gibson Les Paul Studio with a Bigsby B7 on it. Now, this came out about 2 years ago. Orange decided that they wanted to try something different, something cheaper, I guess you want to say, and it's worth the money, I'll tell you that, because Orange, they have pretty fairly expensive guitars, guitar amps, excuse me, and this is actually the only piece of equipment in this room that I own that's actually brand new. Now, I've got the drive is at 12 o'clock, or yeah, it's at 12 o'clock, which is halfway for anyone who doesn't know that. The tone's just a little smidge over, and the volume is at 9 o'clock, which is really all you're gonna need. Everything else you can do on your guitar, and this is kind of like the Orange crunch sound, and it sounds a little like this. Now, the lovely thing about this amp is that you don't need a distortion pedal with this amp. You can get plenty of good distortion sounds out of it with what it is. I have my Boss ME70, which is one pedal that is basically, it's got a ton of different effects on it, but there will be times when I'll run it with the distortion that it has, and then there'll be times when I do this. And just run it with the amp's distortion. What I have done is I just turned the drive up to 3 o'clock. I turned the volume down to literally 1 on the amp pretty much, and the tone is at 12. And this is the sound you get. much distortion, it's still kind of clean. Well, the orange tone does have kind of a clean sound to it even with its most distortion, but if you do this, distortion pretty much on max, tone down, and volume leave about the same, you get something a little like this. Now, if you're like, okay, that's not much metal distortion. Also, it always depends on the cab. The cab I'm using it's actually a bass cab, but it gets the job done. It has a lot of heavier bass tones with or a lot of lower tones, which I actually like a lot. I like to cut out a lot of the high ends and keep it more low and mids, which is, I love just that milky tone. Now with pedals, you can definitely get a really, really good sound out with your pedals. This amp takes them well. A lot of people are like, well, I'm only going to use an amp if it takes pedals well, or it's just basically a brain. There's no real reason to use what it has. Well, like I said, definitely mix, mash the tones off of just the amp. But you can get some, with pedals, you can get some really, really good tones. Hold on. So you get a lot of amp for not so much. You get a $150 amp, head, by Orange. Has the amazing orange tone. No other orange head has this. You can plug headphones into it, and you can plug in your MP3 player or your iPod into it and play along with your own music. Or jam tracks that you've downloaded or anything like that. It's an amazing amp for not such a big price. Now, the only real there's not really much for a downfall. Orange is a very good company when it comes to their amp, but the only real downfall is as it gets louder, it stays still kind of cleaner, which if you're a metalhead, like I said, try the Dark Terror. Don't go out for this. But if you want something versatile that you can use and just slap some pedals through it and play at a gig, this is a perfect practice amp at home, and you can jam over it and you can gig with it in a nice small venue or a bar. Well, thanks for watching my first gear review, guys. I've got plenty of gear to review, so I'll always do more. Hit me a like and tell me if you like the gear reviews. Also, leave me comments for, you know, any of the ideas that I have or that you have for other future videos. See you guys later. Have a rockin' day. Bye-bye.